Protective is yet another potential entrant for Repole Stables. Mike Repole may just try to flood this field, which would make for an interesting race, to say the least. You see Todd Pletcher and Rod Ortiz. We'll see how many that Todd Pletcher decides to put in, and then will be a jockey roulette, and we'll just see where Rod ends up. But I think it would be a really good sign if you saw him on Protective. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. This is a career maiden. Protective has yet to win a race, but has 2/3 in graded stakes races to date. And the Peter Pan, I think, showed a horse that's definitely on the right track and improving. We take a look at the pedigree. Medaglia d'Oro, outstanding two-turn sire. And Grace Hall is the dam, a black type horse, multiple graded stakes winner in placement, including a third in the Kentucky Oaks. Very classy dam, to be sure, and being by Empire Maker doesn't hurt. So there's certainly stamina within this pedigree. You see in the dosage profile, you have two solid stamina influences, which you don't see out of this year's 3-year-olds, and a really nice genetic strength value score of 56.01. You look at the conduit mare profile, it is skewed a little more towards speed than stamina, but Grace Hall, being by Empire Maker, maybe not a great stamina influence, but you're getting plenty of class, and I think Medaglia d'Oro takes care of that. So I'm not worried about 1.25 miles for Protective. And more importantly, this is a horse who looks like the longer the distance, the better. We look at Medaglia d'Oro's get, and there's quite a few Japanese and foreign horses above, but I wanted to get to the Americans, and you see, of course, Songbird and Rachel Alexandra in Elate, 3 outstanding fillies. Shawish and Vancouver are sires, Plum Pretty. So there's a lot of really nice black type horses. Medaglia d'Oro has been an outstanding sire. Interesting though, you look on the female side, and Grace Hall is yet to produce a winner, and that's rather interesting. I think you see Protective leads the class. I guess you could say that, because he's got 97 grand in earnings, but no winners. So kind of hard to gauge the effectiveness of Grace Hall at this point. We look at the Equibase, and right off the bat, the thing that you love to see is that steady progression. Distances getting longer, horse getting better, speed figures improving, and we're going to take a look at the Peter Pan, but when we get into the pace fractions, I think you'll see additionally that this is a horse that I think is really on the come, and certainly looks like the Belmont at 1.25 miles is going to hit this one right between the eyes. So let's take a look at the Peter Pan. The Peter Pan, and Protective is on the rail in the 1 hole.
All set for the Peter Pan.
You see, Protective got away well, and you know he had been lingering a little further back, so I think it's a positive sign that he's a little more forwardly placed in this one, just saving ground along the rail.
Towards the inside, saving ground, is in the 4th position. Then comes Native Land, and Deterministic is the early trailer, just a touch rank. Now gets that kickback, is the trailer 5 lengths off the lead. Unique Insight has the lead. We'll take him to the backstretch, 23 and 4. The opening quarter mile, right there is the wide
23 and 4, moderate to slow, I'd say.
Length of the lead. Antiquarian is 3 wide, and Protective gets a nice journey in 4th. Is only 2.5 off the leaders. Native Land continues to track from 5th, and Deterministic at the back end of the field, 5 lengths at the back. They're chasing Unique Insight at 6-1, 47 and 4. The half-mile time.
Protective traveling along easily. He's going to have to find a hole, but he's in good position.
Antiquarian is also engaged from 3rd. Protective continues to save ground towards the inside as they work into the far turn now from the back. Native Land is trying to pick it up, and Deterministic has trailed throughout. And now here comes the run from the wide. Stewart is ready to challenge Unique Insight. Antiquarian is encouraged to move forward here from.
And now he's got a lane. If he can just work out a trip, find a way.
These leaders as they approach the top of the stretch. Deterministic, Native Land, they've got to pick it up from the back, and the Wine Stewards got the lead. The seam
He's right
opens
there.
up for
You see some
Protective,
good
and
kick
now it
there.
just closes. The Wine Steward unique inside
Wine
still
Steward
there.
cut in ahead of him,
Antiquarian's
took
trying
away
to run
his
them both
position,
down.
but
Protective is still
he's
looking
keeping
for
on
room.
well.
It's the Wine Steward who's fending him off. Antiquarian now Protective is loose.
You
It's
see that little
Antiquarian towards the
crack
outside,
on the
and
whip. You saw a
Antiquarian is
little
pushed
extra
on by
spurt
John
from
Velasquez.
Protective there. So
Antiquarian wins the Peter Pan. The Wine
thought he
Steward
ran a
second,
solid
Protective
race
unique
for
inside.
a horse who's a
Final
career
run time,
maiden.
1 minute
It's
48.
pretty damn good.
Repole.
So some things to like about Protective. Looking at the pace study, there's a lot to like about Protective. Now, you look at that maiden race, and I do have to qualify it a little bit. I did the math, I don't know how many times, on that final fraction, and it came out at 58.09, which is just ridiculous. And I don't think that's a realistic number. I trust Equibase, but it just seemed really funky to me. It would mean he did the final 2.5 furlongs in 28 seconds, which is really, really fast. From 6 furlongs to a mile is 50.02. I thought that was more realistic. So that final 16th of a mile, he was really smoking. It does give you the indication that he was certainly getting faster, but that number just seems really odd. So I hope you understand. That's why I put it in parentheses and I qualified it to give us a more realistic interpretation. The Wood Memorial, you see some definite improvement all the way across on all the fractions, including a nice 52.74 for the final fraction. And then the Peter Pan, you see yet another jump forward all the way across, including a really big second call at 56.27 and finishing at 52.84. So this horse is definitely heading in the right direction. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You see the percentage energy is right in line with a stalker at 51.57%, and the projected time comes out right in line with all the horses we've looked at so far. So there's a lot of things to like about Protective. When we look at our issues and concerns, of course, class, he's going to be stepping up, has to take another jump forward. He has been doing that steadily. This would be a big test for sure, but this is a horse who is clearly suited for the 1.25 miles. He looks to me like a horse who gets better the longer the distances are. So I think there's a lot of positives with Protective, and if he does run, he could offer some really nice value.